We lived beside them, across from them, underneath them. We heard their footsteps at night and their car engines revving in the morning. We heard them laughing, crying, and fucking. Sometimes two of these actions at once, but never all three at the same time. They were one man and one woman, both skinny, always disheveled. We saw what they were wearing above the waist, but never below, since our apartment windows looked up diagonally to theirs. Sometimes we wondered if they were always naked from the waist down, Porky Pig style. They wore lots of hoodies. Sometimes they wore the occasional ironic bow tie or a string of pearls, but only on Saturday nights. Only after payday. Those were the nights they went dancing. They were cheap, after all, our neighbors. They cut each other's hair under a bare light bulb in the kitchen for Pete's sake. They always held hands when they went outside. When we ran into them on the street, we flashed each other our usual expressions. Theirs a cocky grin, ours a regal nod. They squeezed their hands tighter when they saw us. To them, we were a portrait of love aged well, a gray-haired, wizened version of the smiling bride and groom perched atop a wedding cake. They probably made fun of us, a doddering old couple in our threadbare sweatpants and our Birkenstock sandals worn with socks. They could see into our apartment, too, and from their angle, they only saw us from the waist down. That's love, they surely said to each other as they watched us sweeping floors and scrubbing countertops, wordlessly moving out of each other's way, our ordinary movements so practiced they had become choreography. We saw our neighbors as surrogates for our kids, now grown and moved away. Since our kids only rattled off sanitized versions of their lives to us on the phone, we pictured their everyday existence was similar to that of our neighbors. Windowsill planter boxes full of neglected and desiccated herbs, a recycling bin overflowing with craft beer bottles, ignored student loan reminders littering their mail slot. And because the neighbors reminded us of our kids, we liked them. One winter, a third person entered their sphere, a blonde man with a beard, who only came over when the woman was home alone. The woman and the blonde man moved urgently, hands groping, kissing ferociously, from kitchen to living room to bedroom, and then the blinds would snap shut. They carried on for about a month. We watched nervously. When the original couple was home, the woman shrunk into herself with folded arms, avoiding her boyfriend's gaze. The affairs became more frequent and more ravenous. One time, the woman and the blonde man forgot to close the bedroom blinds. We popped some popcorn and opened a bottle of wine without. Just last week, we returned from a matinee downtown and we saw the original couple in the kitchen again. The man sat at the breakfast table, his head in his hands. The woman was crying, gesturing towards him. All he did was shake his head. Finally, he got up, went to the hall closet, and came back with several cardboard boxes. Now the sounds coming from their apartment are the clanging of objects, the crumpling of newspapers, and the occasional sob. We ran into them on the street yesterday, but not together. The man and then the woman several blocks later. Neither one of them will look us in the eye anymore. They walk briskly by as if they are embarrassed, as if they failed us somehow. We want to tell them. We want to tell them that our decades together have been punctuated by our own blonde men with beards or women with champagne-colored eyes. Intruders like tornadoes who ripped through our lives and left us broken and reeling among the wreckage. We want to tell them that with all our automated motions of cleaning and cooking, there is as much distance as there is closeness. That when we lean into each other on the beat-up couch to watch TV, we settle into the soft warmth of resignation. But we won't tell them. They would never believe us because they don't want to.